Starfield has been touted by Bethesda Game Studios and Todd Howard as perhaps the most ambitious Western RPG ever made. And that has no shortness to it. Just like every other Bethesda game, like any of the Elder Scrolls games, the Fallout series, it is massive. And not just massive on the scale of how big the map is, like how, Skyrim's map is pretty decent, or Fallout's maps, just like in 76 and, Fallout 4, they're huge. Starfield goes even bigger. From all the different planets that you can visit to all the different cities, just exploring space. The game is huge. What's up, y'all? My name is Gundy, or Goddamngundy on Twitch. I stream there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Usually during the evenings, but times vary. I stream a variety of video games from MMOs, RPGs, first-person shooters. You name it, we play it, and we usually have fun. We talk about it, and sometimes there's a bunch of craziness that happens on the stream. But if you guys feel like it, click the link down below, and hope to see you there. As it's Bethesda's first new IP in 25 years, it has been in the making for quite some time. And needless to say, it has been an enjoyable experience. I will say, though, that it has given me some frustration as well. There's been a lot of frustrating moments in the game, but every single one of the Bethesda games that I've played, there's always been frustration. There's always been, head scratchers and points where it just mind boggles you. And then, of course, afterwards, you decide to laugh because most of the time it's either a bug or it's just you're shitty at playing a game. Let's talk about some key topics that are good with Starfield. One of the main things with any Bethesda game that draws people in is the vast open worlds that they show. From Skyrim to Morrowind, even the Fallout series. The worlds are so vast and explorative, you can lose yourself for hours, even days, just finding every nook and cranny. That's not excluded with Starfield. Starfield is even bigger than any of the games. You have endless exploration. You can drop your ship on any planet, anywhere. Well, almost any planet, anywhere. And just immediately go exploring. Get off your ship, go and walk, go and jump, go and bounce. Use your jetpack. The opportunities are endless. And one of the things that we've been doing, especially on my channel, is literally just going hunting, going on a killing spree of various NPCs or any of the bounty hunters or anything. It doesn't matter. We just go and have a heyday. Another thing that I've been enjoying with it is the ship build. You can create almost any ship that imaginable. Any ship that's imaginable. If you can think it, you can create it. Even if it's a favorite franchise ship, such as Star Wars ship, a Star Trek ship, Firefly. Even if you want to do a Halo ship build, you can do it. I've even seen somebody create the Magic School Bus. Of all things, the Magic School Bus. I mean, whatever floats your boat, go for it. And it doesn't just stop there, like color customization, placing things in a certain spot. You have all the tools necessary to do a ship in whatever way that you want. Another good positive in this game has been minimal bugs at launch. When was the last time that you played a Bethesda game and at launch or even during the gameplay you haven't experienced a bug or you haven't seen less bugs? I mean, I remember in Skyrim when I first started playing it, the one thing with Skyrim was the giant slam. Whenever he'd slam his mace down on the ground and kill you, you just go and ragdoll to space. That was a bug. And Bethesda patched it out. People loved it. They put it back in. It's one of the main things is no bugs makes it playable, but I do kind of miss seeing some bugs where it makes it kind of goofy and funny because it makes for great content as well. Another good point is the story itself. It is massive. From the side quests that are endless because I've been so busy with work and everything else. But hey, life gets the best of us. But even with those bits of time that I do have to play, every time that I get on it is just an experience. I'm literally diving myself into the lore, the story, just engrossing myself with the amount of content. It's, in my honest opinion, every space nerd's wet dream in a video game. Another good point is the character creation. Now, with any Bethesda game, the character creation has always been very in-depth. It's had a lot of good stuff with it, to where you can make your own face in the game or make yourself look completely hideous or goofy as shit. This game doesn't stop in the character creation. You have all the tools necessary, just like with any Bethesda game, to where you can create anybody. There are a few things that I wish that they would add into it. We'll get into those later because they could expand so much with the game. Before we continue, let's talk about today's sponsor, Dubby Energy. Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor. Dubby contains no calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. It's just a clean energy drink. If you want to choose a good energy drink, Dubby is the way to go. Visit dubby.gg and use promo code GDGundy for 10% off of your order. And to give you an idea, go with Dub Sludge. This is the one I really like. Definitely a good drink. It tastes like Granny Smith with a little bit of flavor to it. But like I said, visit dubby.gg, use promo code GDGundy to get 10% off. And hey, it goes to support me and the channel. Now, just like with any good game review, you have good and then you have bad. So there's no short of badness when it comes to Starfield as well. One of the main things that has been griping me with playing this game has been the NPCs. They're emotionless. They have this look on their face that's just a dead stare in the face. Every Bethesda game kind of has that, but with the days that we're in, especially in video games, we just seen Baldur's Gate 3, which has amazing facial expressions. Starfield doesn't have that. It's just very, very nonchalant, just, hi, how's it going? And, you know, you may see a little bit of a smirk or some eyebrows raised, but there's not much else to it. I miss seeing emotion. Part of the things that makes a game immersive is having that emotion in an NPC, because it really kind of helps you feel the characters instead of just seeing them. And another thing when it comes to the NPCs, or even the character creation, is just the lack of alien intelligence. Like, there's no intelligent alien life forms in the game. Unlike, Mass Effect or various other games that have intelligent life forms outside of humans, this game doesn't have that. I feel like it could really benefit from it. I mean, Skyrim, you could make a Khajiit, you can make a human, you can make a Redguard, you can make an Argonian, you can make any person if you wanted to. Starfield doesn't have that. Now, of course, mods may implement that later on down, but you would think for a space game, most of space is not knowing what life forms are out there. Put some in. That'd be a great thing. Another thing is no vehicles on planetary exploration. Why? Why did they not do that? Like, not gonna lie, when I explored the moon, I had a fun time exploring the moon, just jumping from spot to spot, but that was it. There was I just was jumping. I could use my jetpack, but give me like a rover, give me a car, or I don't want to say a car, but yeah, give me a car. Where's Elon Musk's car that he threw into space? Put that on the moon so I could get it and ride around on it. Give me some form of vehicle that I could explore dead or alive planets in some way, shape, or form, because it would make planetary exploration much more enjoyable instead of just constantly jumping and feeling like I'm wasting time. Like, yeah, I get to see the stars, I get to see rocks, I get to see animals, or, alien animals, whatever you want to call them. But sometimes I don't want to do that. Sometimes I just want to get from point A to point B. And then on the topic with, the planetary exploration, and vehicles. What about extra vehicular activity that you can do outside of your spaceship? There is none of that. Like, you see astronauts getting out of the spaceship to fix something and then go back into the spaceship. They're tethered and everything else. Give us that option. Let us get out in space and just kind of float around in space, do whatever we want. If we want to explore an asteroid, let us do it. That'd be one of the great things. I don't see why that wasn't added into the game. Another thing, and this is one of the negatives that I've just felt since playing the game, is the lack of weapon choices. There are so many weapons in the game, but it's not a lot. Like, there's maybe 5 or 6 melee weapons, 5 or 6, ballistic guns. But like, when it comes to lasers or laser guns, phaser guns, whatever you want to call them, they're minimal. And then legendaries, there's no, like, I have yet to see a legendary that just stands out. Something that's like, oh wow, I found that. That looks awesome. Now, granted, some of the weapons that I do have are powerhouses. I've been walking around with this, what I feel like is a sniper rifle, and just headshotting or two-shotting every enemy that I've come across. And there's been a few where it's taken a few more, but most of the time it's just single shots. That's fine, but give us that option. And on the topic of weapons, why is there no scrap ability like how there was in Fallout? Like, for the weapons, you could scrap any weapon for materials. Then you could use those materials to make mods and use those materials for your base building. I feel like that would have been a great option in the game, like an extra benefit. So I'm not walking around with 3 or 4 of the same gun and trying to find a vendor to sell them to. I can pop over to a weapon station, scrap the whole thing, get the mats, put them on my ship, and call it a day. Like, I feel like that would be awesome. Melee combat is also just very mid. We won't even go into melee combat. I've been doing mainly a guns build, more of a cowboy sniper bounty hunter type build, but from what I've seen, the melee sucks. It could be a lot better. And maybe the melee weapons, if I find any better ones, I might be able to use them a little bit better, because right now they just look very, very mid. We talked about with planetary exploration. On the good side, it was it's endless. But one of the things that I feel like it's missing is no signs of life on some of the planets. Yes, I get it. Like, Earth is just this sand planet at this point. But why am I not running into more NPCs that are, bounty hunters, or running into the ecliptic? Why am I not running into some of these bad NPCs that you just want to kill? Like, I'm not asking for a firefight, but what I am asking is maybe give us some extra things to find or extra things to do instead of just space junk. Like, I feel like all those things could be implemented, but right now, as the game is, it just feels like that it's lacking so much. There was this one moment I forgot to add in when it came to bugs, was this moment where we went to this planet. It was me and Sam Coe, and outside on the planet's surface, Sam was wearing his spacesuit. When we walked into this building, Sam took his spacesuit off, and we walked and explored the building to its fullest. It wasn't until we got out of the building again, not going through the way we came in, but going through this one crevice that was open to the outside elements. He was still outside of his suit. And throughout the entire exploration of this whole area, he was outside with the suit off, but inside the buildings with the suit on. So it almost made it look like he was able to breathe the space air with no issues, but yet I still had to wear mine. So now that we've gone over the good and the bad of the game, let's talk about where I feel Bethesda could improve with Starfield. And we're not talking about mods, because I already know mods improve so much, and it improves the quality of life of almost any game that you play, especially Bethesda games. When you go to Nexus Mods, you can find any mod that you could even think of. You might even find something that you never thought you would have seen, and say they don't have something that you're looking for, you got forums that you can ask. But where are the ways that Bethesda can improve, it's very simple. Give me planetary vehicles. Give me a rover that I can ride around on some planets. Yeah, I get it. You want to, it's all about exploration, but give me a vehicle. Give me something to, not just the jetpack. Give me a rover that I can ride around on, or let me craft one. That'd be top notch, one of the best things possible. And on the same thing, let us EVA out of the spaceship. Let us do some extravehicular activity outside the spaceship. Let us fly, just kind of float in space. I feel like that would be one of the that'd be one of the greatest experiences ever. Being like, say your ship got damaged, you want to go outside and you need to fix a specific spot. You can just fix that specific spot instead of having to wait to go to a technician and get it fixed. Another thing that I feel like they could improve on is enable the ability to scrap weapons for materials. I mean, I already talked about it. Give us that ability so that we can scrap for materials so that we don't have all the weapons. Yeah, at some points I would be like, yeah, I want to sell my weapons so I could get some more credits. But at this point, it's kind of like, let me just scrap the weapons and let me just get the materials. I want to make more mods. I feel like you could utilize materials in such a better way to where you don't have to do as much mining. And I get it, part of it is mining and everything else, but just let us scrap some of the stuff. Another thing I feel that they could improve on is filling the dead planets with human life of a sort. Give us alien life forms that aren't, just animals. Give us something, or give us some human life that's walking around. Like maybe there's a little shack that somebody built in this small little spot. Like, give us something that's going to entertain us. Or instead of making long walks or long jumps on the moon from where you land to this person's little settlement that they've made, do some random firefights. Do a random drop ship of somebody coming after you. Maybe it's a bounty system that I haven't experienced or something, but I feel like that would bring so much more to the table and make it more entertaining. Another thing that I talked about was, bringing intelligent life into the game. Like I said, with Starfield, there's lack of that. It's just humans. But in Skyrim, you had Argonians, you had Khajiit, you had so many different species. Why not have something like that? This is a space game that's all about finding intelligent life or exploring space, the endless vast galaxies that are in Starfield. Give us some other intelligent life. You can't tell me that they haven't found intelligent life in this game. It's impossible. There has to be something. And then, remove the need to perform certain tasks to get your skills level. It baffles me that in order for me to level up my lockpick, I have to perform lockpicking so many times before it allows me to unlock that next level. It's great. I think it's awesome that they've expanded on that, but come on, give us a easier option. Why not do like what Fallout was, where you just put your points in the special meter that you want and you're set. If you want to be a pack rat and just walk around with endless amounts of gear, you just put points until you can max that out and then you increase your strength. Why have us do so much with all the different skills just to level that skill? I feel like it could be eliminated. Maybe even tone it down. I keep saying lockpicks and digipicks because that has been my main frustration. Instead of having it 5, then 15, then however many, just do 5, 10. Like, if you want to do it like that, make it enjoyable. And then give us more options of where the lockpicks are or where the chests are to unlock. And then my final thing that I feel like they could improve on, and this is by far, I know it's a big it's not a big expectation, but I know it's a big wish, and I know it probably will never happen, is allow us to actually land on planets. And what I mean by that is, No Man's Sky really gave you that opportunity to fly directly into the planet and land wherever you wanted to. give us that option. Instead of it just going to a cutscene showing us that, you know, we're landing and then everything else, actually give us that option. Let us fly into the planet and land where we want to. You can still have us do the whole marking the spot so you can fast travel to that spot, but I want to actually land on specific points. God damn it, I live in Ohio and I want to land on Ohio. And I want to be able to like zoom in on the United States, go straight to Ohio and find it. Or if I want to visit Texas, yeah, let me visit Texas. Let me land wherever. And if I want to land on the sun, trust me, I know this sounds so stupid, but if I want to land into the sun, just fly into the sun and burn up, let me do it. I want to have some stupidity. I want like that would just make, I feel like it would make so much more enjoyability and so much more quality of life. I know it's asking for a lot on that, but this game's already massive. That I feel like that could be just a tiny little addition. And who knows, maybe most of these improvements that I'm asking for will be added in through, you know, later on patches, DLC, or like I said, mods might actually improve a lot of this stuff too. We've seen quite a bit on the mods sector, and I can't wait to see what else. We haven't even started modding the game. Most of the time I'm modding most Bethesda games for my own benefit, but usually I play just a solid playthrough first before I start. But we'll see. We might jump into a mod here and there and see what else we can find. Anyways, I feel like that was a good, you know, a good review of the game. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible either. I give it a good 4 out of 5 stars. 3.5, if that, you know, just it's a good game with room for improvement. And I'd like to see what else, you know, Bethesda has in store with the game. It's their first IP in 25 years. The game still ceases to amaze me, but not just on the good, but also the bad. But if you like what you've seen, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And go ahead and catch me over on Twitch. I stream there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Times always vary. And we play a variety of video games. So, hope to see you there. But until next time, this is me, Gundy, signing off. We'll see you on the next video. Peace! Bring it down.